Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Cover Wars, a podcast where we find you the best covers ever of a particular song. I'm your host, aJaX, and with me always is Seth. Seth, how's it going today?
Going really good. How are you?
It's going really well for me as well. Also, we have a very special guest today, and that guest is none other than the co-host of two different podcasts, Pop Culture 5, which I'm a huge fan of, and another wrestling-related podcast called Tables, Ladders, and Conversations. It's the one, the only Deremy Dove. Deremy, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's awesome to be on with you guys. Love the show, and I think it's a brilliant concept. I think we need more great music podcasts out there like this one, so I'm hyped and honored that you guys wanted me to come on. And I'm also hyped that I'm on here before my co-host Thomas Senna. So that's also like another just icing on top too.
Absolutely. Well, he's welcome as well, but we're so happy to have you on today. And which song have you chosen for us today?
And this was a tough one because there's so many great songs, but I just have to say I went with my man, my favorite artist, Stevie Wonder, and his signature song, Superstition.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this.
Very superstitious. Cover Wars, the podcast where we find you the top 3 covers of our popular song. We pull from a curated playlist of 20 different versions. We reveal our top 5 favorites, then we battle it out in a cover war, where we reveal what we've determined, culminating in the best cover ever of a popular song. On Cover Wars!
All right, so Superstition by the one and only Stevie Wonder. I gotta ask, why did you choose that song?
Because it, to me, just personifies Stevie, personifies his great, like, classic era in the 70s when he just, to me, I think Stevie doesn't get enough credit. What the Beatles did in the 60s, Stevie Wonder, to me, did in the 70s, and he did it pretty much by himself as a solo artist. And for songs that have just stuck in my mind in the past few years, I'll say probably since the pandemic, I went on YouTube and I had heard about Stevie Wonder giving a live performance of Superstition on Sesame Street. And I was like, let me go test this out. And when I saw it, I was blown away. I'm like, I love the studio version of it, but I'm like, man, I think this live Sesame Street version is like just as good, if not, you can argue better. And I had to show everybody. I'm like, did you watch this? It's from 73, Stevie Wonder on Sesame Street, and they just blow the roof off it. And I'm like, Big Bird ain't been the same since. So it's like, that has just been in my mind. I've showed so many people, and I just love that song. And I'm like, a song that just constantly plays in my mind is this one.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, I mean, it's great too how he didn't have to dumb it down. You get famous musicians and performers on that show all the time, but it almost seems like they do a comical version at times, or even just like they poke fun at their own songs. But yeah, that one, I mean, he just went all out. I remember seeing that as well. That's great.
So it's
okay.
classic.
How was it finding covers of Superstition? Did you appreciate the covers? Well, we're going to get into our rankings here. And since you are our guest today here on Cover Wars, let's go ahead and start with your number 5.
All right. Well, I feel the pressure here. I know how the guests feel on Pop Culture 5 now. There was a lot to choose from, but one that stood out to me that I really did enjoy is, for my number 5, I'm going with the cover of Superstition by the group First to 11.
Very superstitious.
All right, First to 11, no stranger to our podcast. I think they're averaging like 1.7 episodes of ours. They show up quite often, but that's because they have so many covers. They do a cover a week. This particular version of Superstition is from their album Covers Volume 17. They're at almost 400,000 monthly listeners. They're a weekly rock cover band from Erie, PA, who at this point, I think, have covered every big song since the dawning of time. So why did you choose First to 11 as your number 5.
I really liked the vocalist. I thought her voice really went well with it, and I like hearing, even though, with Stevie, like hearing that female vocal, like doing a cover, made it sound unique. And I liked how upbeat it was, how fast paced, and kind of had like a punk rock metal kind of feel to it. But her voice never went away to like, okay, it's annoying me. Because a big thing for me with the covers for this song is the voice, even over like the music, like the whole instrumental. It's like, if your voice doesn't make it, the instrumental, everything could be great, but I'm just out. So her voice never made me go, ugh. I was into it the whole time.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way when it comes to the vocals on this particular track as well. Seth, what did you think of First to 11's version?
Unfortunately, it's not on my list. I'm spoiling it here. I loved it at first, but with each listen, I loved it a little bit less and less. And I don't normally do that. It's usually the opposite. aJaX can tell you, but with this one, I feel like I did the opposite. I did more of the band than the vocals. So
okay, I like that though.
Right. And we're so used to First to 11 at this point. It's almost like we don't have to worry about them. They'll be back in the our top fives in no time.
Exactly.
Like maybe the next episode at this rate. Who knows? So
yeah.
But I love that pick. So Seth, what is your number 5?
I've got Glenn Lewis.
That is about to fall.
All right, Glenn Lewis. Okay, so this was from the album Conception, an interpretation of Stevie Wonder's songs, released in 2003. Glenn Lewis, at 249,000 monthly listeners, is a Canadian neo-soul singer-songwriter. And we have here a compilation. It's an actual Stevie tribute album with a bunch of different artists. So what did you like about Glenn Lewis's version so much you had him at number 5?
I simply wrote silky smooth vocal, nice arrangement. I loved it when they kind of changed up the sound and you could tell each one had its own little take. It wasn't, none of them were carbon copies.
Nice. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice take here too. I felt it was missing something. I couldn't put my finger on what, but maybe like another instrument, I don't know, that could have catapulted it further for me. But I love his voice, and it provides some nice, really, really nice runs throughout the song too. It gives this like early 90s, almost like a New Jack Swing kind of feel to it at times. So, Deremy, what did you think of Glenn Lewis' version?
Well, I agree with Seth. The arrangement is great, and I agree with Seth even more so because this was actually my number 4. Was Glenn Lewis's. So I really thought it was a great pairing of his voice and how the music was arranged. I really enjoyed it. And it was one where I kind of put like an asterisk. I'm like, I like it, but is it top 5 worthy? And after going through all of them, I'm like, yeah, this makes the list. And I really struggled between this one and First to 11 of like 5 and 4, but I felt like this one was over First to 11. So, I'm with you, Seth.
They funny, great mind.
That's
so,
right.
There you go.
For me, he actually got bumped out. Like I had him in my 5, and the more I listened to it, that from that verse 1 to the chorus, I'm like, I need something else here that's in some of these other songs that not in this one. But all right, are you ready for my number 5?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, for number 5, I've got Nina Freeland. And this is from the album Tales of Wonder, released in 2002, that contains many other Stevie and Motown covers. Nina, at 58,000 monthly listeners, is an American jazz singer, composer, producer, and arranger. I thought from the bass lines to the sax to the scatting, which is definitely my favorite feature of this song, this version is just a very original take with some fresh vibes, altogether unique arrangement, which makes for an enjoyable listen and an unexpected ride through a song that gives you something new to find with each listen. Every time I heard this, I liked it more, and I didn't have her in my top 5, and then she ended up at number 5 for me. So, Deremy, what did you think of Nina Freeland's version?
It's not on my list. I say I give A+ for the attempt. It's a unique attempt, but kind of like what you said earlier, like I felt like there was something missing. And I felt like I'm cool with, when it comes to Superstition, if you want to take it in different directions. And to me, Superstition has a great intensity to it, a great like scary kind of feel. And it's cool if you want to go away from it, but then you better nail it like my man Glenn Lewis did if you're going to kind of take it to that jazzy level. And this one just didn't hit it for me. So like, but I understand that point, that choice, aJaX, and I did like the fact that it was unique and different. And I'm always going to have a place in my heart for someone doing something different with anything in art, but it just couldn't make my top 5.
Fair enough. That's what we love here on Cover Wars is the unique perspective. The differences are what makes it all good. So at number 4, we've got Glenn Lewis for Deremy's choice.
13-month-old baby.
Seth, what is your number 4?
I've got Chris Blue.
Very superstitious.
So from The Voice, the complete season 12 collection, this was released in May of 2017. Chris is at 32,000 monthly listeners. Kind of modest take there. He's an American soul and gospel singer and the winner of season 12 of the American talent competition, The Voice, at the age of 27. He was the last artist to sing during the blind auditions in a season and filled the last spot on Team Alicia of Alicia Keys. And so that begs the question, why'd you have Chris Blue at number 4?
I had down great vocals. The band was wonderful, and the arrangement was just really nice. There were certain ones where I felt like the arrangement they didn't go too far away from it, but they also put their own little spin, like I was saying before. And I thought this was one of those, that it was just really nice.
Yeah, I thought the backing band definitely helped, but it was Chris's voice that really, really stood through as different and stands out in the song. So, Deremy, what did you think of Chris Blue's version?
I got to be honest. I liked his voice. This is one, though, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, where the band actually did matter more, and I didn't get enough from them in this one. And I know live can be tough, and especially on those like competition shows. I don't watch them like I used to, but I used to watch them more. But like, it can be a tough thing. So I get that, and I do like Chris's voice, but this time the band just kind of was. Don't get me wrong, they're talented. You can tell, but they didn't put enough funk into it, like especially like for a live.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm like I was missing. If they had a little bit more of that to match Chris's voice, it probably would have made my top 5.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Interesting stuff here. I'm loving this. So, are you ready for my number 4?
Oh, yeah.
Well, my number 4, I've got Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. Originally recorded in 1986 and included on the Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan Double Trouble compilation, released in 2002 as a live version, a staple of his live shows. Stevie still had 2.5 million monthly listeners as blues rock legend and guitar guru SRV, often referred to as one of the greatest guitar players of all time. He brought this to the masses, to different genres who might not have been wanting or even knowing that they wanted to listen to a Stevie Wonder song. Stevie Ray Vaughan gave those people ears to hear something different. His electrifying guitar playing is front and center on a spectacle of a live track here. And while I'm not a huge fan of his gravelly vocal, there's just like this undeniable sense of being in the presence of greatness when you listen to a Stevie Ray Vaughan song. And here, as a version of a Stevie Wonder song, when you listen to one of his performances, vocals aside, his musicianship alone and that incredible solo he provides toward the end, it speaks for themselves. So, Deremy, what did you think of Stevie Ray Vaughan's version?
aJaX, I have it here. So I have it in honorable mention. Like, and I wrote that down. So like, it's a close one. And I'm with you. And it was like, it was in the top 5 and it got bumped.
Gotcha.
And I think what you said, his voice kind of was the only thing that kind of nailed it to like go, okay, out. And a lot of people have like on our list that we listen to, like different unique voices. So I was kind of looking for like, man, a certain something. If you're not going to sound like Stevie, I needed you to give me that Stevie energy and passion on here. And his was just a little too gravelly, a little too slowed down for me. Guitar playing was great, but I have it in honorable mention. So I'm with you in a way. It's close, but I just couldn't put it on there.
Yeah, it's funny because he was one I had out of the 5, and then him and Glenn, they kind of swapped out for me. In the end, when the more and more I heard him, I'm like, "God, I can't deny this. This this is just for me. Those solos at the end, they had me. So very cool stuff. Okay, so we've got a match. We'll see that we got one match between Deremy and Seth. We'll see if we get some more here as we go into our threes. Deremy, what is your number 3?
Okay, so I did try to look up this person and how to pronounce their last name, but I could be off. But my
we have issues with that a lot.
Okay,
It's all
okay.
good.
So my number 3 was the biggest surprise for me of all the ones that to listen to. I was stunned, and it was the biggest journey of, I don't think this is going to work, to being like, okay, he's making it work, to being like, I'm digging this song. I love it. And I got to go with Leo.
It's interesting. This is from Metal Covers Volume 5 from October 2015. He's got 548,000 monthly listeners, a Norwegian musician known for his metal covers of popular songs, which have gained over 4.5 million followers on YouTube as Frog Leap Studios. So that's another name he falls under there too. But yeah, let me know. What'd you think of Leo's version? Why do you have him at 3?
Like you said, that metal really clicked, and then like opening like the instrumental, like I was like, okay, this works, and then it picked up, and then his voice just really went with it, and I loved his energy and enthusiasm singing, and that's kind of what did it, where I'm like, it fuses nicely with it, and in his own way he kind of got Stevie's essence of that, like bringing it on that track and bringing that kind of like spookiness with it too, that I'm like, this just works for me. And I also will give it extra bonus because it is unique and it is different. And if you can make that land going outside the box, you're going to get extra bonus points from me. So that's why, like, honestly, if it could have been higher on my list, but
Wow.
a couple, like, I had to like kind of weigh them out. But this one was a roller coaster listening to it, where I'm like, I played it multiple times afterwards. I'm like, this is great.
Nice. I love it. I love that you love it. So, Seth, what did you think of Leo?
I meant to rank this one higher, and it just didn't get up there, but I apologize. I love the guitar riff. Wonderful instrumentation. I really enjoyed this one. It's just there's something about some of the ones I picked that I was telling aJaX beforehand. I kind of shuffled before I decided.
Okay.
So I kept moving him around, and that was one that I meant to have a lot higher.
Yeah, so I didn't know what to think about this one at first, and ultimately it got pushed to the back for me. But let me tell you, I love the heavy metal riffs here. There was some good instrumentation. I couldn't really get past the vocals for me. I thought that they were a little too cartoonish. In fact, he even does like a Disturbed, the wah ah, ah, ah. He's got the wah ah, ah in there somewhere.
Does,
I'm like, what is going on, Leo? So I don't know. I just think that it doesn't lose integrity, but the seriousness aspect of it for me, I couldn't put it too high on my list. So it did hit my back 9, but I did enjoy it. It was still fun. So
yeah, I hear you. I thought it was just that was his way, because he, obviously no one can be Stevie Wonder. And I think in that metal, like, it's really hard to do, but I kind of felt like the fun, because Stevie kind of can do those riffs and those scat words in his songs that you're like, what? And like, it's like him and Michael Jackson are like the ones who can like do it. And it's like, that really makes no sense, but it works for these guys. Yeah. And so I kind of felt like he was trying to bring that kind of improv kind of energy that Stevie had in his own way still, which I liked.
Right. Okay. Very cool. So got Leo at number 3. Seth, what is your number 3?
So this might shock you a little bit, but I got Blackheart Saints. At number 3.
Blackheart Saints. Wow. Shocks me a little bit. Let's see. Blackheart Saints. This might shock you. This is from a single released in August 2015. They are sitting at the time of this recording, 4,022 monthly listeners. That's it. Just 4,022.
Wow.
Yeah, when you get a solid number, it's something. This is an American rock band, though, from Austin, Texas, formed in 2014. In 2019, they won the Austin Chronicles Best Metal Band Award, being recognized along with Willie Nelson, Jackie Vinson, and Ghostland Observatory. So why did you have Black Heart Saints at number 3?
I thought the arrangement was killer. The guitar work was just great. It's not like it was better than the other ones, but there's something I clicked with more, just personally. And it was for me, it was the best of the rock, like a hard rock ones.
Nice. And Deremy, what did you think of Black Heart Saints?
I thought it was great, honestly. I really enjoyed this one. The intensity that you get from it, which I don't think people give enough credit for the original Superstition. Like, it's an intense, gets you going kind of song. And I think they matched that energy. And I'm with you on that, Seth. The guitar was just unbelievable. And I
really
felt
nice.
it.
Yeah.
And I like the vocals too.
Yeah, their vocals specifically remind me of Chris Robinson of Black Crowes. Like, they're called Black Heart Saints, and I'm like, this is giving me all kinds of Black Crowes vibes. But I really dug it. I thought that yelly sing song kind of a way, really stands out. But you can easily screw that up, and I think they do an excellent job over those guitar riffs there. So very nice. So at number 3, Seth's got Black Heart Saints. Are you guys ready for my number 3?
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, Seth, we have a matchy match because my number 3 is Black Heart Saints. This, for me, an explosive hard rock version with some nice Black Crowesy Chris Robinson singing yelly verses stands out here. Really, really well done with some nice guitar licks and funky bass lines. You can tell they really had fun here, and unlike some of the other tracks on the list, the integrity of the song, which is very important to me, it doesn't waver. And I think by far the best rock track on the playlist. So we have another match. Going forward, we're getting into our top 2s here now. Let's see. There's some big names on this list here yet. Let's see where they land. Deremy, what is your number 2?
I'm going to keep this going here. My number 2 was Black Heart Saints.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess to try to be a little bit different, because I was hoping to save it. The drums are what put it over the edge for me. I thought the drummer was just great and just really kept that song together, as well with the vocals and the guitar and everything. But I agree with you guys. This is the best of the rock tracks, and it kind of surprises me that they don't have more of a following, at least from this song, because they just seem like a great band. So I agree.
Hidden
really
gem.
Yeah,
what we call
really
them.
It.
Very cool. Yeah, our last show, we had a hidden gem that no one's ever heard of. And this artist I tried to get a hold of on Instagram just to try to get him to put his video on YouTube. And so, yeah, these bands and these artists that it's amazing to me how you hear these songs. Even though it's a cover, you're like, where are these people? Why are they not getting listened to? Where's their representation? So that's very cool. So, all right.
If I could double down real quick on
it.
Deremy's comment, to me, what stood out the most on the whole playlist was the drums and the bass.
Yeah.
With the original, we've got that synthesizer, we've got that strong, keyboard that Stevie basically made famous. I mean, my goodness, if not invented himself, but it with these, the drums and the bass were really the home runs of all the playlist. I just thought the drumming was just off the charts.
Very cool.
All right,
yeah. So Seth, what is your number 2?
It's another match.
Oh, hey, bring it.
I've got Nina Freeland.
All right, Nina Freeland.
Wow.
Why do you have Nina at number 2?
So I loved everything about this take. I'm a big jazz guy, so I liked the liberty she took. I know it might be harder to listen to for some people, but I really just dug it. And every time I listened to it, I loved it more and more and more, and I wanted to hear it more and more and more.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was with it. I just kept picking up on these Easter eggs. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice the last time I heard
better.
Yeah, she did this the last time, and then she did this, and I didn't hear this before, and I caught this part. And so when I kept getting those, I'm like, I got to have her in my 5. I mean, I put her at 5. I don't think I would ever put her higher than 5, but I'm like, I think I got to include her in here. So very cool. Another match. Well, guys, are you ready for another match?
Yeah.
Here's my number 2. At number 2, I've got Chris Blue. I thought this was just... I love the Everybody Clap Your Hands, which, is indicative of another track on here from Jackson 5. So they also do the Everybody Clap Your Hands performance, but there was something about this one for me, and I think it's just his voice. I don't think I've heard anybody do runs like that in a long time, and just the way he can get to those high notes, those really stood out for me, especially the ones toward the end. My wife and I were American Idol junkies. We've only ever watched American Idol, but The Voice is one of those shows I've always wanted to like it and watch it. And I bet if we did watch it, we would like it and become hooked and never leave our house. And so that's kind of why I don't. But yeah, Chris Blue, that season must have been tough for the other competitors, because something about his voice just to stand out for me. For an artist I've not really heard of, I was thoroughly impressed by it. So here we go. So this is going to be very, very interesting as we go into number 1. So Deremy, what is your number 1?
My number 1 shocked me. That when I saw the list, I kind of was like, I laughed. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember hearing this person did a cover. It's not going to be great, but I really wound up loving it. I got to go for my number 1. It was Macy Gray.
There is superstition.
That's my number 1.
All right, Macy Gray. So here's some info on Macy. This is from the album called Talking Book. That's right, she covered the entire album.
Yep.
Released in October 2012, popular R&B soul singer with 10 studio albums and 3 million monthly listeners, of course, most famous for her 1999 hit, I Try. Why did you have Macy at number 1?
Because with her voice, and really dove deep into the kind of haunted, spooky, superstitious of it all, I was like, oh man, is this too much? But then I'm like, it's just, for me, it was just enough. And it was just right with her voice. And I'm like, yeah, this is one that should be played on like Halloween more. Like we should hear this like every Halloween, people playing this song, because it just gives that spooky feel, which is what Stevie, he's trying to say, don't be superstitious, but he's talking about, superstitions, and there is like an eerie kind of feel to it, like for the original track. So I was like, this was unique enough and different, and really went into like the whoo, that I was like, it's my number 1. I really liked it.
Seth, what did you think of Macy Gray's version?
No offense.
I'm ready.
Normally I love Macy Gray. This one, I felt like her voice was a little distracting of the music. I think it was the arrangement. I think when I want to hear her voice, I want to hear more of a smoother sound of the band. And it was more of that eerie sound. And it was like a little bit too much for me. But I normally, and we, if you go back to different episodes, I've put Macy Gray in my top 5, I think, right, aJaX? So I love her.
I'm pretty sure but, she hit like our top 3 in another episode not too long ago.
With that take, it rubbed me the wrong way. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Well, for me, it didn't rub me the wrong way, but I love the jazzy band backing sound with Macy's signature vocals here. Nobody sounds like Macy. I think the closest comparison I would ever make is Erykah Badu, but that's just more of like the sensibilities and like the spookiness, like you were saying. But her voice is one of one. She has that rasp gravel, low tempo here. Just really bringing the element of like a laid back sass to the original arrangement. So yeah, definitely a different kind of arrangement. But yeah, I liked it a little better than you, Seth, but I didn't quite like it as much as you, Deremy. So
I hear you.
Very, very cool. All right. So Seth, I got to know, what is your number 1?
If you know me, you know it's Quincy Jones.
Superstition,
okay. Q. All right. Well, this is the 1973 cover of Stevie Wonder's Superstition. It's a jazz funk fusion arrangement From his You've Got It Bad Girl album, features a unique collab with Wonder himself on clavinet and harmonica. And then vocals from Bill Withers and Billy Preston, which is almost unfair. Affectionately billed as the Three Beautiful Brothers, creates a horn-heavy, high-energy interpretation. It's also included on Quincy's album, I Heard That compilation. Quincy's still at 2.4 million monthly listeners, a legendary record producer, arranger, composer, executive, trumpeter, film and television producer, and band leader. The man could do it all and did do it all. Seth, why do you have him at 1?
So I say, what can I say besides it was perfect for me? I love the arrangement, everything about it. I mean, you mentioned Bill Withers and Billy Preston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Bills, yeah.
Oh my goodness. For me, those are like two of the best ever. And then Quincy Jones on top of it making the arrangement. I mean, it was just perfect for me. I mean, perfect.
So, Deremy, I've got to know, what did you think of Quincy Jones' version?
Well, as I believe Quincy Jones is the greatest producer of all time. Just loved Quincy. And this is honestly is what I have written down, Seth. So this is not, but I was like, it definitely has a 70s feel to it, which I like. I like the harmonica, but I'm kind of just waiting for them to just kind of like get into like the Sanford and Son theme song. Like, it sounds so much like I'm just waiting for him to go to which Quincy Jones did do the Sanford and Son theme song too, but which probably doesn't help. But I'm just like, this sounds like he recorded these close together, like Sanford and Son's theme song, and then is like, I'll keep this going here, you know. So I'm just ready for I'm just kind of like waiting for that. So which I was like, it's unique. It made me laugh, but I'm like, I wasn't feeling it too much.
I do a great Red Fox, by the way.
Well, that's okay. So the horn section, I can see that. And now I'll never be able to unhear that once you've said that.
I'm sorry.
But no, it's okay. Anyway, are you guys ready for my number 1?
Yes.
Well, I also have Quincy Jones as my number 1.
Nothing more to say.
Because, I mean, okay, so it's almost a little unfair. It could be cheating that, yes, Stevie's on the track as well, but you don't hear his vocals.
Mm-hmm.
So this version is pure ear candy for me. So even if it's Sanford and Sonsy, it's pure ear candy. Just such an incredible talent. It's one of those that I think that you can definitely go wrong with too many cooks in the kitchen here, and the result can be overbearing. But this version for me comes together because from the background vocals to the solos to the horns to the bass lines, this is like a super group doing your favorite song. And so it's like, what is there not to love? This was the only number 1 for me. Nothing ever changed about when I first heard this. I'm like, forget about it. This is number 1. So that's my take. That leads us with some interesting things with our cover war now coming up. But Deremy, I've got Stevie Ray Vaughan listed as an honorable. What are some other honorable mentions for you? We usually do like a 10 through 6. I don't know if you have quite that many, but if you want to list them off, go for it.
So I have Widespread Panic as an honorable mention. I liked how it sounded. It kind of had like a good concert feel to it. Stevie Ray Vaughan was mentioned. The Jackson 5 was disappointing for me, but I did wind up putting it in honorable mention because I felt like it kind of Michael was too young. If it was Michael a couple years later, I think he could have really nailed it. And I'm like, I'm not going to hold you too hostage because of, you haven't hit puberty quite yet. So I was like, the Jackson 5 was also an honorable mention for me as well.
That one I think also suffered from production value more than anything else. So I think if we had a clean cut studio quality version of that, it would have sounded quite good. So
the instrumentation was really good on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we got the Everybody Clap Your Hands, which Chris Blue used for his voice performance. So it's very nice. And any others mentioned there for the honorables?
Yes, Frank, I really enjoyed his as well. Vocals, honestly, I kind of wish that it was just like an instrumental. And I think that could have made my top 5. It was just instrumental. His vocals kind of knocked it out of the top 5 for me. I liked it more than the Quincy Jones one. like the instruments, honestly, and everything. Like not the, I wasn't waiting on Esther or Fred Sanford, which was cool. So I was more with the Frank McCourt. But those are my honorable mentions, I'll say.
Very cool. Okay, I'll give you a little background on some of the ones we didn't mention yet. So, Widespread Panic first. This is a well-known jam band from Athens, Georgia. They also played with the Dirty Dozen brass band here on the horn section from an album, Another Joyous Occasion. So, yeah, very popular there. And then also, obviously, the Jackson 5. This is from Live in Japan. So a live recording that the production value left it somewhat to be desired. And then Frank McComb, this was from the album Soulmate, Another Love Story, released in November of 2017. He's a soul and jazz vocalist and pianist whose fans describe him as a combination of Donny Hathaway, Herbie Hancock, and Stevie Wonder. So you mentioned it being, you'd like it better if it was an instrumental, like a Herbie Hancock kind of a track would be really cool. Because that went 8 minutes. That's a long song too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, which the instrumentals, I mean, yeah, that long, I would like it. But yeah, as far as the vocals, they did make you wish it was instrumental. So, so Seth, any honorables from you if you want to go through your 10 through 6?
Yes, I've got Stevie Ray Vaughan at number 10. I've got Raven Simone at 9.
That's so Raven.
That's so Raven. I really thought that was surprisingly good, by the way.
No, I did too. I'll talk about her in a little bit here.
Okay. And then at 8, I've got Neo.
Yeah, Neo.
And then at 7, I've surprisingly got the Glee cast.
Wow. Okay. That is surprising to me. That one.
And then to match with Deremy, I've got Frank. So I thought 6 was hard. I liked it more than 6, but I had to put it somewhere. So
okay, well let's talk Raven Simone just for a second because I thought hers was interesting. So it's from the album Disney Girls Rock. So she's got 200,000 monthly listeners still from her roles on The Cosby Show and Hanging with Mr. Cooper, also known as Raven. I think that if it wasn't for the effects on the vocals, I would have liked it better. I think they did that because it was on an album designed for a younger audience. And I think if it wasn't for the overuse of the effects, her vocals would have shined through a little bit more. Yeah. And so this is somebody I also believe if it wasn't for her being a child actor, I think her music career would have taken off a little bit more. I think a lot of the studios didn't give her enough credit for her voice because her voice is really, really good.
I agree. So, I wrote down Disney kind of messed it up for her. Like it wasn't her. I love Raven. She did the Cheetah Girls. They had some success with their songs. And I agree with you, aJaX. If she wasn't, and she's a very talented child actress, by the way. If she wasn't so good there, I think, it could have had a really good music career. And I know Disney always does that, especially back then, but if they would have left it a little more contemporary, that could have made my top 5. Like, I really enjoyed her. I'm just like, you Disney-fied it up a little too much for me.
Right.
So
I agree.
I had to watch it.
And then we had Neo in there. Neo, this was from the Motown Magic soundtrack compilation released in November of 2018. Neo has 46 million monthly listeners. That shocked me. That's good enough for 83rd in the world. I mean, Neo, that's a name that, I've heard of, like in the 2000s, the double aughts, as they call them. Or do they still call him that? I don't know. But that's when I thought he was like really well known. Well, he's apparently still doing fine, just fine for himself. Got a huge following still, 83rd in the world, 3-time Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, actor, prolific presence in the 2000s R&B music scene. So yeah, my 10 through 6 are as follows. At number 10, that's where I have Macy. That's where I've got Macy Gray. So at number 9, I've actually got the Clef Hangers. So a little a cappella version in there. I thought that was pretty nice. At number 8, this is where Glenn Lewis landed for me. He was in my 5. I had to push him back just a little bit. 7, I've got Kina Grannis and Imaginary Future. And I thought this was just a really cool, innovative version of the song as well. And then at number 6, that's where I've got Neo. So, Seth, hard at work here on our cover war. What's it looking like for you? Some surprises.
I got 4 names to battle with.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what you're seeing or not.
I'm seeing one name. We all agreed on one, which is another shocker. Second episode in a row where I'm just like, what? Like, we have Blackheart Saints? I mean, I
Yeah.
would never in my life have imagined Blackheart Saints
Yeah.
going that far. And then you and I have Quincy up there, so we've got to talk Quincy, both hitting our number ones. And then there's Chris Blue, and then there's Glenn Lewis.
That's what I had, yeah.
So here's where it comes down to, Deremy. When it comes down to Glenn or Chris Blue, I gotta give it to you now.
So I guess I'm going to lean toward Glenn.
Glenn, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to lean
Which I
toward
figured,
Glenn.
and it's only fair, so we're going to go Glenn for number 3. So here's what we have, and let me know. You get the final say. We have number 3, Glenn Lewis. Number 2, Quincy Jones. Number 1, Blackheart Saints.
What do you think, Deremy?
I think that's fair. I think even though Quincy's not on my list, the fact that you both have it at number 1, that'd be selfish of me to be like, no. Like, it's like, hey, you guys. And Quincy's great too, so like it's not like I'm upset by that, you know.
Right.
R.I.P.
Okay.
This is your chance to veto.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so very cool. We're gonna go ahead and stamp this, and here are your top 3 quintessential cover versions of Superstition by Stevie Wonder. At number 3, Glenn Lewis. At number 2, Quincy Jones. And number 1, your number 1 version of Superstition by Stevie Wonder, Blackheart Saints. So there you have it. We're going to have some fun now the rest of the way. So, Deremy, I got to ask, are you superstitious, a little stitious, or zero stitious?
A little stitious.
Little stitious?
A little stitious.
What about you, Seth?
Zero stitches.
I'll answer this in that I think I'm just OCD, because when I get into my car, before I exit my car, I have to make sure that the entire line of a song is done before I turn off my car. Like I can't break a syllable. That's like an OCD thing. And then the other thing is the volume, the air, everything has to be on an even number. So it has to be 68 degrees or 70 degrees. It can't be 69. Volume has to be 22 or 24. It can be 23. So we'll get into more of that later. But here's just a little bit of a song bio. So Superstition is a song by American singer-songwriter Stevie Wonder. It was released on October 24th, 1972 on the Motown label as the lead single from his 15th studio album, Talking Book, in 1972. Hard to believe that was his 15th album.
Yep.
The studio version runs at 4 minutes and 26 seconds, 7-inch at 4 minutes and 7 seconds. The genres it is included in are funk, rock, pop, and soul. Deremy, if you had to pick one genre of those 4 that you would classify Superstition, which one would it be?
I would say funk.
Yeah.
Funk would be the one I would go with. Like
that bass line, I mean, it just hits you like you know what you're getting into, but you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. So Superstition reached number 1 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 in January of 1973, and on the Soul Singles chart, it was Wonder's first number 1 single since Fingertips Part 2, one of the most essential Motown songs of all time.
Absolutely.
And in November 2004, Rolling Stone ranked it number 74 on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Then it was re-ranked number 73 on its 2010 list and number 12 on its 2021 list. So it went up quite a bit. So Rolling Stone goes from 74th in 2004 to 73 in 2010, all the way to 12 in 21. Is 12 good enough, Deremy? Do you think it could go higher, or what do you think?
Could this go higher? I think 12's right. I would say it should be definitely in the top 20. I think those. I don't know how real I should get on here, but like the fact that how biased Rolling Stone was, especially in 2004 and 2010, and it's in number 74, shows you how like they couldn't even deny it as much as they wanted to. So to me, it's definitely a top 20 song.
Yeah.
I think if I'm thinking about all-time songs, I would probably put it out of the top 10. So I think 12 or 11 is right. Like kind of like with us, like the honorable mention for top 10 songs, but not right in there.
Right. Okay, good. So at the 16th Grammy Awards, the song earned Wonder 2 Grammys, Best R&B Song and Best R&B Vocal Performance by a Male. In 1998, the song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. That's right, the song was inducted. And in the early 70s, Wonder was playing most of the instruments on a song by himself, but he preferred to let the other guitarists play on his records. And after he learned that Jeff Beck was an admirer of his, he had an agreement. It was quickly made for Beck to come in and be involved in the sessions that became the Talking Book album, in return for Wonder writing him a song. Between the album sessions, Beck came up with the opening drum beat. Wonder told Beck to keep playing while he improvised over the top of it. He improvised most of the song, including the riff, on the spot. Beck and Wonder created a rough demo for the song that day. Deremy, do you have any thoughts on Jeff Beck? Have you listened to his music? What do you think about him?
Of course, one of the great guitarists of all time. I'm glad Stevie did it. Felt a little bad for Jeff Beck, not getting it, but I thought it was cool. I think it was 2009. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame had their 25th anniversary show at Madison Square Garden, and those two performed this together, which I thought was really cool. But you can't talk about greatest guitarist of all time, and you can't get too far without mentioning Jeff Beck. He's just that special. So, big fan. Yeah. Big fan.
Very cool. Yeah, he's somebody too, and I think we had him on a show a while back where we discussed him, and he had a cover on one of the shows we did, and it's just amazing to me that he was so accessible. This was somebody who was playing club shows up until he passed, and we were just like, how is Jeff Beck playing this little podunk bar in the city? And I'm just like, do people not realize that's Jeff Beck? So it's so funny. So anyway. For the recording, Wonder sang and performed the funky clavinet riff on a Hohner Clavinet Model C. Co-producers Malcolm Cecil and Robert Margoloff programmed the Moog synthesizer bass. Steve Madeo, we'll go with Madeo, played the trumpet, and Trevor Lawrence, not that Trevor Lawrence, not the Easter Island head, played the tenor saxophone, while Wonder is also credited for drums on the track. Cheap Trick drummer Bunny Carlos has stated that Cozy Powell, the drummer of the Jeff Beck group from 1970 to 1972, had intimated to him that the drum track used on the final version was actually his. And then after finishing the song, Wonder decided that he would allow Beck to record Superstition as part of their agreement. Originally, the plan was for Beck to release his version of the song first with his newly formed power trio Beck, Bogert, and Appice. But after the trio's debut album was delayed and Motown CEO Berry Gordy predicted that Superstition would be a big, huge hit, which he was 100% correct about, which drives sales of Talking Book, Wonder released the song as the Talking Book lead single on October 24th, 1972, months before Beck's version was issued in March of 1973. And then, of course, later we got the Jackson 5 covers and the Quincy cover. And so I've got a trivia question for you, Deremy. Are you ready for it? I had to make it a little tougher because I know you have extensive knowledge.
Oh, geez. So I'm ready. I'll give my best.
I will say that this is a tougher one. So if he doesn't get it, don't get mad at him. Get mad at me for making it so hard. Okay. As an apology for releasing Superstition first, what other famous track did Wonder give to Jeff Beck? A, Another Star. B, 'Cause We've Ended as Lovers. C, Golden Lady. Or D, Too Shy to Say.
Boy. I'm trying to think. This one is, and I've seen this before too. I've heard people say it. I'm trying to.
Here, let me give him to you one more time.
Yeah.
So A, Another Star. B, 'Cause We've Ended as Lovers. C, Golden Lady. Or D, Too Shy to Say.
I'm going to go with B.
B is correct, 'Cause We Ended as Lovers. Wonder originally wrote it for his wife, Sarita Wright, but gifted it to Beck, who recorded a legendary instrumental version for his 1975 album, Blow by Blow. So very good.
I was trying to go through Jeff's, and I'm like, yeah, I think that one. I was like, I think that's it, but it was tough. I did not cheat. Everyone listening, that was it. So but multiple choice helped. So I thank you guys.
Absolutely, for real. Okay, Wonder appeared in this is some of the recent appearances of the song. Wonder appeared in a Bud Light commercial ad campaign that debuted during Super Bowl 47 in 2013 as part of the It's Only Weird If It Doesn't Work campaign, which showed superstitious fans acting compulsively in an effort to guide their teams to victory. Wonder appeared as a witch doctor in New Orleans, where the game took place. The fans performed superstitious acts to receive good luck charms from them. The instrumental intro of Superstition before Wonder's vocals kick in plays throughout the commercials. So then another recent appearance just last year, Sting and Stevie Wonder performed the song on January 30th, 2025 at Intuit Dome in Inglewood for Fire Aid to raise money for relief efforts for the January 2025 Southern California wildfires. So very good. So just a quick little artist bio. I mean, it's Stevie. Many people know many things about Stevie. Widely regarded as one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century and credited as a pioneer and influence by musicians across a range of genres that include R&B, pop, soul, gospel, funk, and jazz, a virtual one-man band. During much of his peak years, Wonder's use of synthesizers and other electronic musical instruments in the 1970s reshaped the conventions of contemporary R&B. He also helped drive such genres into the album era, crafting his LPs as cohesive and consistent, in addition to socially conscious statements with complex compositions. So, Deremy, a little loaded question here, but I gotta ask, what does Stevie Wonder and his music mean to you?
Means everything. Means, the word genius gets thrown out a lot, and it's hard to define what it is in a lot of different categories. But I think one that's a slam dunk is in music. There's few geniuses, a lot of talented people, but few genius. Stevie's one of those few of the 20th century. I'm like, pure genius in what he was able to do from a young age, from 12 years old and with Fingertips and Fingertips Part 2, and just what he was able to do. I talk to people who listen to our show, because I'll say he's I'm gonna say underrated but underappreciated, and they're like, how can you say that? And I'm like, because what he did, and song is a part of it, but from the late 60s into that 70s run, you can argue what pop act in anything had a run like Stevie did in the 70s, with the hits, with critically acclaim, with innovation. I put that up with any group, any artist of all time that you can top what Stevie did in the 70s. And honestly, he wound up having his more commercial success in the 80s later on, but this person means everything, and it's someone I really do think about this. Him and Michael Jackson were the two artists both sides of my family could connect on, and every birthday we're doing the Stevie Wonder Happy Birthday version. It's just he's everything, and even honestly, as someone who has worked with those who are visually impaired, I can say seeing Stevie and seeing Ray Charles, who's also on that short list of geniuses as well in music, made me be like, wow, how can you do that? Where you can't see, but yet you're just doing all these things that blow everyone away. And I tell people I'm sure you guys have seen it, the Greatest Night in Pop documentary about the We Are the World. As funny as Stevie is, and he's playful, his genius to me shows when he's doing Bob Dylan. It sounds just like Bob Dylan to Bob Dylan, just blows me away. And the fact that Bob Dylan, this icon, is struggling and he's nervous, and they're all clear the room, and he's like, yeah, just give me Stevie. He knew Stevie was the guy he needed. And I'm like, in that room of all those icons, he's going to Stevie Wonder. That to me is case closed. Everyone needs to just all hail Stevie. He's the man. He means everything to me. Long way to answer your question, but he means everything.
No, that's what I wanted, and thank you so much for answering it. I love it. So, Stevie Wonder, a genius. Ray Charles, maybe he was called the genius, but what else can you say? There's so many great nicknames. Wonder's won over 25 Grammy Awards, Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in '96. He's one of only 4 artists and groups who have won the Grammy for Album of the Year 3 times as the main credited artist. those 3 album runs. A lot of people ask too, hey, what's the best 3 album run of all time? You just mentioned it. You just told us that has to be it.
Yeah.
What else is there? So the other artists, he's one of only 4 artists and groups who have won the Grammy album for Album of the Year 3 times as the main credited artist. Frank Sinatra, Paul Simon, and Taylor Swift are the other 3. Wonder is the only artist to have won the award with 3 consecutive album releases. His list of rewards and honors are extensive, as you may imagine, both for his music and civil rights work, including a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Civil Rights Museum, being named one of the United Nations Messengers of Peace, and earning a Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Obama in 2014. Most recently, in May 2024, Wonder was a recipient, alongside Misty Copeland, of the George Peabody Medal for Outstanding Contributions to Music and Dance in America, the highest honor awarded by the Peabody Institute. All right, so we're going to get now into something fun that we do. It's the TikTok song poll. These are the results. So a couple days ago, Seth went on to TikTok and he posed the question, what is your favorite Stevie Wonder song? So first, Deremy, is Superstition your favorite Stevie Wonder song, or is there another one?
Oh, there's others. This is honestly maybe hits the top 5, but it's definitely it's not my favorite.
What would be your favorite if you had to pick one?
I had to pick just one.
If you had to pick one.
Just one. I will probably go with Living for the City.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Seth, you mentioned it in the video, but what's your favorite Stevie Wonder song?
You Are the Sunshine of My Life.
Beautiful.
My favorite's Sir Duke, because again, I'm an American Idol junkie. So that's one of like the most covered songs ever on American Idol. But every version, I'm just like, oh, this is so good. I love it. But then you hear
The
Stevie's
horns.
version. Yeah. And then you hear Stevie's version. You're like, well, nothing comes close to that. But
yeah.
All right. So here's some of our responses. So the number one song that people voted for. What do you think it is? It's kind of surprising to me.
I have a guess.
What's your guess?
What's your guess?
Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Oh, that's a good guess.
And that's on there, but it's not number one. The number one voted song is As. And as much as I like
some
As,
good, smart fans here.
I know, as much as I like As, it's a little lengthy and it doesn't have that hook, but it has the bite. It has the lyrics. It's probably the lyrically strongest song he has, in my opinion. So As was number one. Number 2 was Superstition, and number 3 was Sir Duke. And then we also had some others listed. Here we go. Superwoman, Where Were You When I Needed You? Then we had Do I Do, All I Do, Too High, You and I Wish, Higher Ground, Living for the City's on there, Part-Time Lover, Visions, One Little Christmas Tree, My Cherie Amour, I Just Called to Say I Love You, Never Dreamed You'd Leave in Summer, Boogie on Reggae Woman, Knocks Me Off My Feet, Overjoyed, With a Child's Heart, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and Fingertips. Now here's some mentions from usernames. Username Blazian says everything off the Master Blaster album, which that's kind of cheating, but okay. Username Think Griff says Tuesday Heartbreak with David Sanborn on sax. There you go. Username Carrie Brio 446 says yes, but specifically when it played on Taxi when Jim's dad died. So very specific mention here. Another user said Tomorrow Robins Will Sing got me through a lot, and Ribbon in the Sky. And another user mentions Ribbon in the Sky. CWS Ohio on YouTube says Fingertips when he was little, Stevie Wonder. And here's my favorite one, also mentioning Tomorrow Robins Will Sing. Username Mr. Melody on TikTok. Tomorrow Robins Will Sing back in 1995 when that song came out. I was experiencing things the song was just talking about. And I remember, thanks, Stevie, for writing a song just for me to get through the bad times I was experiencing at the time. So a lot of great responses. So thank you everyone who went on to TikTok and YouTube and responded to that. So now we
great
just
musical taste though.
Absolutely.
That was
I'm impressed.
awesome.
I'm impressed.
Awesome picks.
So there you go.
Your fans brought it.
So now we've got lyrics and a parody. Let's get into these lyrics first though. Lyrics. Superstition. It was written and performed by Stevie Wonder, released in 1972 on the album Talking Book. Focuses on the negative consequences of believing in superstitions. The lyrics act as an antithesis to paranoia, arguing that worrying about tales like Breaking mirrors or walking under ladders causes unnecessary suffering. Okay, so here are your lyrics dramatically read. Very superstitious. Writings on the wall. Very superstitious. Ladders about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. The good thing is in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious. Wash your face and hands. Rid me of the problems. Do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream. Keep me going strong. You don't want to save me. Sad is my song. When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious. Nothing more to say. Very superstitious. The devil's on his way. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. Good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. So, Deremy, any lyrics from the song specifically that you like the most?
Honestly, this when you believe in things you don't understand, you suffer. Like I like that. I think I like Stevie talking about that, and that can be taken a lot of different ways. And not to get controversial on here, but like I do think a lot of times people go in stuff like blindly. They don't know why. I think superstitions are like that, right? A lot of times your grandmom had it, your mom had it, and then you do it, and it's like, why do you do it? And it's like, you really can't answer it. It's like, I saw grandma do it. I saw mom do it. I'm doing it. And it's like, and the fact that a lot of times I'm not even putting myself, like, I haven't had to like stop myself and go, why am I not washing clothes on, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? It's like, oh, because my grandma and mom were like, you'll wash a family member away if you do it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are we doing? But like, that was said my whole childhood. Like, you can't don't do laundry on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Wash a family member away. So it's like, and don't get me wrong, if you believe in a superstition, I'm not knocking you. I don't judge you at all. But I think it is big. Like, at least if you have that feeling, fine. But if you're just doing it because others are doing it, it's like, what's going on here? Like, come on now, let's stop. So I just like that line probably the most to me.
That's also my favorite. Seth, what about you? Do you like any specific lines from the song?
We all agree. That's what I wrote down. When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. That's what I wrote down.
All right, we have matchy matches on the lyric. Okay. So I have a question for you, Deremy. You probably never have been asked this question before, but are you ready for the parody of Superstition?
I have never been asked that question before, and I am ready.
All right, well, ready. We'll see how ready you are. I'm not going to tell you the title. You'll figure it out as we go along. Here we go. I am going to open up this Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. That is not the song, though. I'm sorry. Here we go. And I will not be going that high the entire time either. When I wash the dishes, I don't dry them off. I put them in the dish rack. Don't give it any thought. I know it might sound crazy. There's spots on all the glass. And 7 full days later, still there when I walk past. When you keep putting off things, it can get out of hand without a buffer. Procrastination ain't the way. Ooh, got to mow the lawn now. Grass is getting high. But it looks like it might rain. There's one cloud in the sky. I keep on thinking maybe I'll get it out the way. But then I'd miss this movie. I already hit play. When you keep putting off things, it can get out of hand without a buffer. Procrastination ain't the way. Ooh, when the laundry's finished, I don't put it away. The dryer stopped its spinning, so the clothes stay in for days. And when I remove them, I pile them on my bed. When I can't find a pillow, they go under my head. When you keep putting off things, it can get out of hand without a buffer. Procrastination ain't the way. All right, there you go. There's procrastination for you. Yeah. All right. So thank you for enduring that. You should be rewarded.
No, that was good. That was really good.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, thanks.
Dead honest.
All right. So we have one more thing left, and I'm going to ask you first, Deremy.
Okay.
Do you think any of these covers, like Macy Gray, for instance, do you think that cover is better than Stevie Wonder's Superstition?
No. None
and simple.
None are better.
So, Seth, what about you, though? You had Quincy Jones in there. Do you think any version, including Quincy's version of Superstition, is better?
I don't think anyone could ever touch the greatness that is Stevie Wonder's version.
All right. Well, this might sound a little crazy. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm going to say no as well.
I was like, whoa. Whoa. Hot take.
Heart attack.
Hot take. I was here for it.
There's no way. No, I couldn't explain my way out of a paper bag. That would be crazy. Yes,
I love Quincy Jones, but you must really love Quincy Jones if he better.
I love him too, but yeah, he's not better than Stevie on this song. So very, very good. I do have a question though. Are you guys interested on hearing what we're going to be covering next week here on Cover Wars?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So next week, we're going to have Seth's friend BJ Holt on the show, and he's picked out a song. It's from originally Nina Simone, and that song is a little song that's been covered by other artists. Feeling Good is the name of that song.
Great choice.
There's one specific artist that might come to mind, and we might do a thing like,
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so we
little bit.
One of our early episodes was Prince's "Nothing Compares to You," and obviously the one that comes to mind is Sinead O'Connor. So we might do a thing like, "Hey, is Michael Bublé's version of Nina Simone's Feeling Good still the best cover?" So we'll see. So Deremy, thank you so much for coming on the show. We had such a great time. Where can the listeners find you?
Well, thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for your kind words and reaching out. I had a blast. I'll come back on anytime. I definitely want you guys to come on Pop Culture 5. So you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts for Pop Culture 5, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever. That's where we're at there. And my wrestling podcast, if you're into wrestling, Tables, Ladders, and Conversations with my co-host, Tim Lewis. He was actually on Pop Culture 5 recently, did Essential MCU films, and then Thomas came on our most recent episode. He did Essential WrestleMania. So I've kind of had like a multiverse of podcasting in the past few weeks. But
love it.
You can also find Tables, Ladders, and Conversations anywhere you listen to podcasts as well. So yeah, thank you.
Very cool. Yes, and Pop Culture 5, I'm not just saying this, is one of my favorite podcasts.
No, thank you.
And so there's so many good things going on over there. So Seth, where can the listeners find us if they want some more Cover Wars?
You can find us at Cover Wars Podcast on YouTube, Cover Wars on TikTok and Facebook, and you can email us at coverwarspodcast@gmail.com.
All right, very good. And hey, if you're ever out there and you're all alone and you don't know where to go for songs covered by artists other than the original, Seth and I, and sometimes Deremy, we got you covered.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.